What's up, guys? You know the deal. We got to put our nootropic in, get our focus going. So today I want to. By the way, I don't know if anybody's had these. All right, wait, no, I'm not not promoting nicotine use on the channel. Okay, so I want to talk about today what actually makes a person successful in changing their life or transforming their body. And I'm just going to be straight up, there's no magical plan or magical meals to eat or specific calories. There's nothing magical about it. It is often way overcomplicated than it needs to be. But I just want you to know that shit's not magical. So that's why everybody you see, think of anybody that you've seen that has tried basically a get rich quick thing, but for fat loss. Like waist trainers, shit. Fat burners, shit. Everything sucks. There is no magical thing besides just showing up every day and doing the work. Yes, obviously, there are reasons of why I have a job, why this is my career, because there are better strategies to do it, things that can make you see more progress, things that can make you stay on track, and strategies to go about things. But to think that there is just one magical thing, that's just not how it is. It is the people over and over, it is the people that have the most success in this are just the people that are the most consistent. I say this all the time. I will see people in the gym that don't know what the hell they're doing, but I see those people in the gym every single time I'm there. I see those people in the gym working hard, even if they are doing a dumbass exercise. I saw this guy the other day doing a terrible exercise, but he's big because he's probably been doing that terrible exercise for 20 or 30 years because, he was probably in his mid to late 40s or something. And there's another guy I see all the time at the gym. He's got to be in his 50s. He's huge as hell too. And his workouts suck, to be honest. But there's a reason that those people are big, because they are consistent. They do the same shit over and over. And my point is, yes, obviously there is that area where things can improve, things can get better. But it's if you just did shitty things, eventually you're going to get there. It might take you a couple extra years, but you're going to get there eventually. So how do we build that consistency? Now I think a lot of it, one of the best things that you can have in life or fitness or whatever is just the ability to be resilient, the ability to just brush shit off. It's gotta be one of the best things. If you are focused on something, nothing can get in your way. Driving down the road and some guy cuts you off in traffic, and you might get a little pissed, might flip him off, whatever, but people will let that shit, something like that, linger. Or though, a road rage incident where somebody will try to cut somebody else off, they'll get cut off, then they'll go try to cut them back off. It's what purpose does that serve you? This guy's trying to fuck with your day, you're gonna let him fuck with your day, but yet you've got shit to handle, you've got money to make, you've got a physique to build, whatever the hell it is. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about dude cutting me off. Sure, I may be hey, fuck you, buddy. Give him a finger real quick or something. But then after those 5 seconds, chill. It's I'm not gonna. My point is not to let things sit and get to you. And like we all have those moments. You know, you wake up like your tire's flat, or you wake up and your girl or whatever, she's automatically in a bad mood. She's like, hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, or the dog threw up. You know, whatever it is, like you wake up and you have that like immediate cortisol spike where you're just like stressed out and it just gets to you, and then your whole day is shit. Like having resilience to just brush that shit off, like knowing that none of that matters in the grand scheme of what you are trying to accomplish. Like just think about it from a logical standpoint. Like, all right, your goal is to get jacked, get lean, and get rich. What the fuck does the dog throwing up on the floor have to do with that? What does your tire being flat, so you had to change the tire in the morning, and sure, that could, make you have to do your workout later in the day or something, or you're late to work or late to making money, whatever. But it was like an hour of your time, maybe. Sure, you're not gonna be able to get that back, but when you sit there and stress about it all day, it just makes that time deficit even more. It makes more of that time go away. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but when you push at life, there is a reason why people do not change. Because when you push at life, life pushes back, and then people cower away and they do not keep pushing. They say, oh, guess it wasn't meant to be. I hate that so much. Guess it wasn't meant to be. The fuck do you mean, man? If it's your dream, then it's fucking meant to be. You just won't actually put the work in to get there. You won't keep pushing when shit gets hard. And it doesn't even have to be something that's like crazy. It's literally just like you could say, I'm starting a diet today. I'm starting diet Monday. You go into work on Monday and somebody brings donuts in and you're like, what the fuck? Like nobody has brought donuts in for the past 3 months. Why are they doing it on the day that I want to start a diet? Like, it's just little things like that throw people off, that get people on track. And then they're like, oh, it's not meant to be. Like, I don't know if you've noticed what I'm trying to accomplish here, what my page is trying to accomplish, but it is not mediocrity. Like, if you can be jacked and still be a mediocre individual in your life, but I don't want that for anybody. I want people to use fitness as a way to excel their life. You feel better, you look better, you're stronger, you're healthier, you're more energetic. So why would you not put that to good use and then try to excel in some other aspect of your life, whether it's your career, your family life, whatever it is? Just don't be mediocre. And with that comes being resilient. With that comes, actually putting in the effort every day. When life pushes back, that's when you double down. That's not when you say this wasn't meant to be. That's not when you give up. That's when you double the fuck down and you push even harder. You have to fight back at life. There's always going to be forces in play against you, no matter what. It is never going to be smooth sailing. And that's another thing too, where people are like, I've gotta wait for the perfect time. Timing's just not right now. No matter if you feel like it's the perfect time or not, as soon as you start something, shit's gonna push back on you. It's gonna be hard. But you just have to keep pushing. You just have to keep fighting every day. Like, obviously I talk a lot about strategies of like, hey, we don't want this to all be a mental battle, because if you try to do this where it's just fully a mental battle every single day, it's not gonna work. But at the same time, if you can't have a conversation with yourself and you can't fight back against the things fighting against you or the things in your way, if you're not willing to give all of your effort, if you think that you're just like gonna fucking half-ass it and then get shredded and be big as shit. It's just not how it works. And you know, you see people do that with like, people are like, yeah, I'm gonna hop on this peptide, I'm gonna take like some gear, and then I'm gonna be able to slack off on my diet a little bit. I've seen people do that, and then they still look like shit because they think that adding in that enhancement can now just like be a means for them to slack off. Like, that's not how it works. No matter what it is, if you want to have a very, very above average physique, then you have to go about it at a very above average level. You're never going to put subpar effort into something and expect anything other than subpar results. Truthfully, like, that's the biggest thing that I learned in my transformation. Like, you know, like I've talked about many times, I was trying to make the transformation for at least 3 years before I finally did it in just a couple months. And you know what changed is I didn't give up. I didn't just stop. I didn't, you know, as soon as something pushed back on me, I didn't just cower away and say, all right, I'm done. No, I pushed back. I just kept fucking going. Over and over and over again, every day. And once you get there too, to be real as shit, like, if you're gonna maintain that, obviously it gets a little bit easier, but you still have to show up. You still have to eat good. You still have to hit the gym. It's not just a one-time thing. It is a lifestyle. And if you're not ready to live an above average lifestyle, then you're not going to get above average results. You are always going to be the guy that gets off work and rips the pen or sits on the couch and just eats until it's time to, and watches TV until it's time to go to bed. That'll always be the case until you're ready to commit to an actual lifestyle change. And let me tell you, it sounds way harder, which, you know, granted, it is. It's harder than just coming home and sitting on the couch and ordering food. 100% is. But it's also very much worth it in what you get out of it, because it really does change your life, and not only yours, but changes the life of people around you. You know, especially if you have kids. I mean, I signed a guy up this week that, you know, he has 3 kids, and a big thing for him is not just changing his life, changing his family's life, his family's dynamic, him being able to, you know, be in shape enough to actually play with his kids. You know, his kids are into sports and they're like, hey dad, can we do this? Can we do that? And he's physically just not capable right now. And you have to think about that too, like, in your future self, if you don't have kids right now, you know, in the future, like, what example do you want to set? What do you want to do? How do you want your family life to be? Do you want to be able to be active with the kids, or do you want to be, you know, out of shape and not able to do that? Not able to be a provider or take care or a protector. I always, like, I know that can be kind of corny, but, you know, I always see the video of the one guy where he like slips and falls, and he's a bigger guy, and he like falls and the stroller starts rolling towards the road, and he tries to get up and he can't get up, and he keeps falling again because he's overweight, and then the stroller just keeps rolling towards the road and somebody else has to run over and grab it. And it's just like, I can't let that be me, man. You know, I want to be able to get up like this and sprint around when I'm, you know, 65, 70. I don't know. So, yeah, just to kind of recap, I mean, it's not a magic pill. It's not some miracle thing. It is you committing, and if you commit to the right program, the right strategies, your life will 100% change forever. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, but definitely hope that this kind of drilled that into your heads a little bit. Just, be resilient, keep pushing. Life's always got shit to throw your way, so we just got to fight through it.